Have you ever stopped to think about how a seemingly innocuous fruit could possibly become dangerous as we get older? Although we've always been told that fruits are a vital component of a balanced diet, some fruits can actually be harmful to elderly people. Certain fruits can negatively affect your health, and you may not even be aware of it, whether it's because they affect blood sugar levels, cause digestive problems, or interfere with medicine. We're going to expose 7 fruits in this video that seniors should absolutely stay away from. Even though they're generally regarded as healthy, some of the fruits we'll discuss may surprise you. However, certain fruits may cause more harm than good depending on your specific health demands. By the time this video ends, you will know a lot more about which fruits to avoid and why. Keep reading because the final fruit on our list is one that many people consume every day without realizing the significant health concerns it poses. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are concerned about your health or the health of someone you love. This information might have a significant impact. Let's begin. 1. While though grapefruit is frequently considered a pleasant and healthful fruit, most people are unaware that it includes substances that disrupt the liver and intestinal enzymes, making it one of the most harmful fruits for older folks. Many prescription drugs cannot be broken down without these enzymes. Allegedly, consuming grapefruit may result in your body absorbing too much or too little medication, both of which can be quite harmful. For example, grapefruit may increase the duration of time that medications for heart disease, high blood pressure, or cholesterol remain in your bloodstream, thus increasing their potency. In other circumstances, the drug might not function as intended, endangering your course of therapy. For older persons who depend on regular prescriptions to treat chronic conditions, this is particularly concerning. Consuming a single glass of grapefruit juice in the morning has the potential to disrupt your entire treatment regimen. However, it's not the only issue. Additionally, grapefruit conflicts with some painkillers, anxiety and depression drugs, dizziness, abnormal heartbeats, kidney problems, and even internal bleeding are possible adverse effects of this. The most frightening aspect is that these effects typically develop gradually rather than all at once. Consider Henry. He is 72 years old and takes medicine every day to control his blood pressure. He believed that consuming grapefruit juice every morning was a good habit, but gradually he started to feel weak and lightheaded for no apparent reason. His doctor discovered dangerously high medicine levels in his system during a routine checkup. They examined Henry's diet and found that the cause was grapefruit. His symptoms disappeared when he stopped drinking it. It's crucial to consult your doctor before consuming grapefruit or its juice if you are on any form of prescription medicine. Despite its seemingly harmless appearance, this fruit can be dangerous to seniors because of its strong influence on how drugs are metabolized and absorbed. Fortunately, there are many different fruits that offer comparable health advantages without the danger. It is always preferable to go with a safer option. 2. Durian. Known for its powerful scent and smooth texture, durian is frequently referred to as the king of fruits. Elderly people should use this fruit with extreme caution, even though it is regarded as a delicacy in several regions of the world. The high sulfur content of durian is one of the primary issues. This may disrupt the body's alcohol metabolism. Therefore, if you like to drink occasionally, mixing it with durian may cause nausea, lightheadedness, or even dangerously elevated blood pressure. Durian is very high in fat and calories. Healthy fats are vital, but the kind of fat in durian is heavier and more difficult to digest, particularly for elderly people whose metabolism has slowed. Bloating, discomfort, and even heart palpitations can result from eating too much at once. Due to its impact on blood circulation, some people also report feeling quite hot or flushed after eating it. For people who have heart problems or high blood pressure, this could be dangerous. Not to mention blood sugar, and of the sweetest fruits in the world, durian has a high natural sugar content. This might result in abrupt increases in blood glucose levels for those who have diabetes or insulin resistance, which over time may produce weariness, lightheadedness, and even more serious consequences. Durian's composition makes it easier to overeat and exacerbates the issue, in contrast to other fruits that contain fiber to help slow down the absorption of sugar. Take 68-year-old Robert, who loved to try different foods. He had no idea what durian was. After consuming a substantial amount of food one evening, he experienced a rapid heartbeat and a feeling of heat radiating throughout his body. He became faint and lightheaded a few hours later. He was unaware that the fruit's fat had raised his blood pressure and that his blood sugar had risen. Later, his physician verified that durian was the cause of this harmful combination of symptoms. You should stay away from durian entirely if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or stomach problems. Numerous fruits provide the same nutrients without endangering your health. Seniors should reconsider include this potent fruit in their diets, even though some people might like it as a rare treat. To let me know you're following along, please put number 2 in the comments if you're still watching and found this material useful. Additionally, now is a fantastic opportunity to subscribe if you haven't already. To ensure you never miss an update, don't forget to click the bell symbol. Your assistance enables us to continue providing you with insightful and empowering information. Third, starfruit. Starfruit could seem like a safe and nutritious addition to your diet because of its vivid yellow hue and crisp, refreshing flavor. However, this fruit can be extremely harmful to older folks, particularly those who have kidney problems. The neurotoxic, a substance present in starfruit, is the source of the risk. This toxin is naturally filtered out of those with proper renal function. However, the toxin can build up in the bloodstream and have a detrimental effect on the nervous system in elderly people or those with impaired renal function. Confusion, lightheadedness, twitching of the muscles, and, in more severe situations, seizures or even coma are some of the symptoms that may result from this. The fact that even a tiny quantity of starfruit can cause these symptoms makes it very hazardous. Studies have indicated that for people with kidney problems, consuming just half a starfruit could have major consequences. In contrast to normal allergic reactions which manifest symptoms quickly, starfruit toxicity can have gradual effects that make determining the source challenging. A lot of folks don't connect the dots until they have odd symptoms that don't seem to be related. Consider George, a 74-year-old guy with relatively minor kidney issues who led a good life. He saw starfruit at the neighborhood store one day and made the decision to give it a try. A few hours later, he lost his memory and struggled to remember basic information. The following day, he had hand tremors and lost his balance while walking. In the days that followed, he kept eating the starfruit without recognizing it was the cause. His symptoms got worse till a doctor finally figured out what was wrong. The toxins in the fruit were not being eliminated by his body. When George stopped eating starfruit, his symptoms started to go away. Starfruit poses a risk to the health of any older adult, even if they have never experienced renal issues. This is because natural aging alone lowers kidney efficiency. Sticking to fruits that don't have these unspoken dangers is the best way to keep safe. 4. Cherimoya, custard apple cherimoya, commonly known as custard apple, is a popular fruit because of its sweet, tropical flavor and smooth, creamy texture. However, despite its widespread use, not many are aware of the risks this fruit poses, particularly to senior citizens. The plant's seeds, skin, and even leaves contain naturally occurring toxins that affect the nervous system. However, the pulp of the cherimoya is normally safe when consumed in moderation. These drugs, collectively referred to as a nanicin, have been connected to neurodegenerative diseases. When used in excess, they can cause cognitive problems, mobility abnormalities, and nerve damage. The seeds of cherimoya are lodged in the fruit's soft flesh, which makes eating especially challenging. This makes it simple to inadvertently eat crushed seeds, which can release toxic substances that impair nerve and brain function. Older persons are particularly susceptible to the accumulation of these toxins, since their body's capacity to detoxify diminishes with age. Over time, repeated exposure may even raise the chance of experiencing symptoms resembling those of Parkinson's disease. After consuming cherimoya, some people have experienced lesser side effects, such as extreme drowsiness, lightheadedness, limb numbness, and a lingering metallic taste in their mouth, which are indications that the nervous system is being impacted. Leonard, a 70-year-old man who likes unusual fruit, started eating cherimoya as a dessert multiple times a week. He eventually became aware that he was frequently quite exhausted and that his hands were growing weaker. Leonard didn't realize the connection until his doctor mentioned the risks associated with several tropical fruits. He observed gains in his energy and motor abilities after eliminating cherimoya from his diet. There are many safer options if you like tropical fruits. Pears, mangoes, and bananas all have mouth-watering flavors without posing any neurological hazard. It's advisable to stay away from meals that could subtly harm your health as you age, in order to safeguard your brain and neurological system. Type number 4 in the comments section to let us know whether you've read this far and found the material useful. To ensure you never miss any new stuff, remember to subscribe and enable notifications. 5. Unripe. Green papayas are frequently hailed as superfoods, particularly for their ability to aid in digestion. However, unripe fruit can be dangerous, especially for elderly people. High levels of latex, a substance that can aggravate the digestive tract and trigger allergic reactions, are found in unripe papayas. Even though some people might only have minor symptoms, older persons who have more sensitive digestive systems are more likely to suffer from more serious consequences. These may include nausea, cramping in the stomach, and bloating. As people age, the risk rises because the stomach lining becomes more fragile and susceptible to strong toxins. Papain, an enzyme found in unripe papaya, can exacerbate acid reflux and illnesses like ulcers and gastritis. Furthermore, many people are unaware that they have a latex allergy. Breathing problems, puffiness, and an itchy throat are some of the symptoms. Due to cross-reactivity between bananas, avocados, and some nuts, you may be at higher risk of developing a latex allergy if you have previously experienced allergic reactions to any of these foods. Consider 76-year-old Eleanor, who is often picky about her diet. She decided it was a good idea to include papaya in her diet. However, one day she experienced tightness in her chest and a burning sensation in her throat after adding green papaya to a smoothie. Days later, the same thing occurred once more. After some time, her doctor determined that her symptoms were caused by a slight latex allergy. Unripe papayas can still be uncomfortable for your stomach, even if you don't have an allergy. In contrast, ripe papaya is generally safe to consume because it contains significantly less latex. Make sure the fruit is completely ripe before eating it and avoid the green kind unless you are positive it won't harm you. 6th, when consumed incorrectly, ackee is regarded as one of the world's most hazardous fruits. This is because hypoglycin, a potent toxin, is present in unripe ackee. This poison is highly concentrated when it is unripe and can be quite harmful if consumed. Consuming unripe ackee can cause Jamaican vomiting sickness, a serious illness characterized by abrupt blood sugar decreases, acute tiredness, and nausea. This can be particularly risky for elderly people, particularly those who already have blood sugar problems. The challenging aspect is that symptoms are not usually immediately apparent. After eating ackee, a person may feel normal for a few hours before experiencing cramps, perspiration, and lightheadedness. This can worsen into convulsions, a coma, or even death if left untreated. For this reason, the sale of ackee is highly regulated in various nations. However, fresh ackee is sold openly in some areas, and people who are not aware of the risks might consume it. The fruit's effect on blood sugar levels is the biggest worry. Confusion, fainting, and loss of coordination are symptoms of hypoglycemia, which is caused when hypoglycemia prevents the body from making its own sugar. Those who have diabetes or other metabolic diseases are particularly at risk. Low blood sugar can cause symptoms including disorientation, lightheadedness, and fainting in people without these illnesses. Think about Harold, a 69-year-old traveler who tried fresh ackee. He felt all right at first, but in a few hours he lost his appetite, grew weak, and became lightheaded. He later discovered that the ackee he had eaten had not fully matured and that it had enough hypoglycemia to cause his blood sugar to fluctuate. If he had consumed more food, his case might have been lethal. Avoiding ackee completely is the safest course of action for senior citizens unless it is made by someone who knows how to make it safe. This fruit is a dangerous choice because some people still have moderate symptoms even when it is ripe. There are many tropical fruits that provide comparable nutrients and flavors without these risks. Type number 6 in the comments section if you found this information useful. Don't forget to hit the bell button and subscribe so you don't miss any future posts like this one. We can continue to provide helpful health advice thanks to your support. Number 7. Lychee. Known for its distinctive flavor, lychee is a sweet, juicy fruit that has hidden risks, particularly for elderly folks. Despite being high in vitamins and antioxidants, lychee includes ingredients that can cause severe blood sugar dips, especially if consumed empty-handed. These substances disrupt the body's glucose synthesis, which is particularly dangerous for those who already have trouble controlling their blood sugar levels. Lychee has been connected in numerous studies to abrupt hypoglycemia, particularly when taken in large amounts without a full meal. Seniors may experience lightheadedness, disorientation, fainting, and an elevated risk of falls and other consequences as a result. For people on insulin or other diabetes treatments, the risk is significantly higher. Severe hypoglycemia episodes may result from the effects being amplified when taken with lychee. Furthermore, lychee has natural toxins that might tax the liver and make it more difficult to keep blood sugar levels steady. Lychee disease outbreaks have been documented worldwide, mainly affecting youngsters and the elderly. It's challenging to link symptoms to the fruit because they frequently don't appear immediately. Consider 72-year-old Margaret, who enjoyed eating fruit first thing in the morning. She thought it would be healthful to start her day with a bowl of lychee one day. Within hours, she was weak, unsteady, and unable to concentrate. She wrote it off as fatigue until it occurred once more. Doctors eventually connected the lychee to her symptoms, and the episode subsided when she stopped consuming it. It's crucial to consume lychee in moderation and never on an empty stomach to safeguard your health. Additionally, see your physician first if you take blood sugar medicine. She made the decision to see a doctor after reliving the same symptoms. It was then that she realized eating lychee on an empty stomach was disrupting her blood sugar levels. The problems vanished entirely after she changed her eating patterns and stopped ingesting lychee without a full meal. Lychee should not be consumed by people who have diabetes or are sensitive to changes in blood sugar levels. It should never be consumed on an empty stomach and should only be consumed in moderation, even by healthy individuals. Numerous other fruits provide comparable nutritional advantages without this unspoken risk. Your general health and quality of life can be significantly impacted by being aware of what you eat and when you eat it. Now that this video is complete, it's a good idea to think back on the fruits we discussed. You might have been taken aback by some, particularly if they had a long history of good health. However, as we've seen, there are hazards associated with even natural meals, especially as we age. Understanding how various foods impact your body, interact with your prescriptions, and affect your general health is the aim, not being terrified of fruit. You can avoid unforeseen health problems and make better judgments if you know what to avoid or drink in moderation. Which of these fruits surprised you? Have you ever eaten any of them and felt ill? Leave a comment with your experience. Someone who is ignorant of these concealed dangers might benefit from it. Recall that maintaining your health involves more than just including healthy foods in your diet. It also entails understanding what to omit. Additionally, don't be afraid to consult your physician if you have any questions concerning a certain meal. You should take care of your health. We appreciate your patience as you watch the entire video. We would be delighted to hear from you. Leave a comment below with what you learned today and how you intend to use it to your everyday activities. Your comments are much appreciated and inspire us to continue producing informative and inspirational content. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with others if you liked it. See you in the upcoming video. Have you ever observed minor physical changes and questioned whether they were simply normal aging symptoms or even more? Men start to exhibit specific bodily symptoms as they age. Some are more subtle, while others are clear. One of them can really be identified by smell before it is even apparent. These shifts aren't arbitrary. They are unmistakable indicators that the body is changing with time. We'll dissect 4 typical male aging symptoms in today's video. 2 involve bodily parts that grow larger over time. 1 suddenly diminishes, and 1 includes aroma. Some of these changes take time to manifest. Some people may surprise you by appearing in the mirror out of the blue. Have any of these developments affected you personally? Stay with us through to the very finish. Something you've noticed in your body but haven't been able to properly explain may now make sense to you. You'll have a lot better knowledge of what's going on inside your body and what you can do about it by the end of this movie, so keep watching. Before we get started, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our aging and health stuff. Let's get started. 1. The distinct smell of aging men may develop a certain body odor as they age. When visiting nursing facilities or interacting with elderly folks, many people detect this smell. This fragrance isn't caused by cologne or bad hygiene, unlike what some people believe. It results from a biological alteration that takes place at the cellular level. The skin produces a substance known as 2-nonenal as a result of chemical changes brought on by aging. Some people describe the distinct smell of this chemical as grassy, waxy, or even faintly musty. It is caused by oxidative stress-induced breakdown of fatty acids on the skin. 2-nonenal differs from ordinary body odor in that it is difficult to remove. It adheres to skin and clothing, defying common body washes and soaps. Because of this, some guys still detect the smell after taking a shower. While younger skin regenerates faster and sheds oils more effectively, older skin holds on to more oxidized oils, which intensifies the odor over time. Consider Richard, a retired engineer who is 74 years old. Even after washing his garments, he found that the smell persisted. His granddaughter once remarked, "Grandpa, you smell like old wood and books." This description of the smell associated with aging is surprisingly widespread. He initially attributed it to his detergent, or cologne. However, after switching items and not noticing any change, he discovered that his skin was the source of the odor. He's not by himself. According to studies, men start making 2-nonenal in trace amounts in their 40s, but by the time they are in their 70s, the smell is considerably more obvious. The good news is that you can lessen the effects of this molecule even if you cannot stop your body from producing it. The odor is more effectively neutralized by specialized soaps made to remove oil buildup than by ordinary body wash. Additionally, oxidative stress can be decreased and the process slowed down by consuming a diet high in antioxidants such as citrus fruits, leafy greens, and green tea. Using fabric sprays made for aged skin or washing garments with baking soda can also assist because this chemical sticks to clothing. Therefore, it's not your imagination or a matter of hygiene if you've noticed a shift in your scent over time. The majority of men will eventually feel it as a normal aspect of aging. 2. A growing belly that won't go away. One of the most noticeable symptoms of aging in males is a growing belly, but there are more factors at play than just overeating or not exercising. Men's metabolisms naturally slow down with age, which makes it simpler for them to accumulate belly fat. In addition, individuals undergo physiological changes, including a slow drop in testosterone and lose muscle mass. You may notice that your waist is getting bigger even if you're eating the same as you did in your 40s or 50s. Because excess calories are more likely to be deposited as belly fat, having less muscle means burning less calories at rest. This is more than simply a cosmetic issue for some males. Their physical sensations are also impacted. Wearing more weight makes daily movements more taxing, clothes start to fit more tightly, and bending over becomes more difficult. The 76-year-old retired teacher Frank was always slender. Even while his eating habits remained the same, he became aware of his tummy bulging over time. His belly was becoming bigger, while his arms and legs were getting thinner. He was going through a typical shift in body composition. As muscle mass in the limbs decreased, fat accumulated in the abdomen region. Because it is metabolically active, this kind of fat is particularly problematic. In other words, it releases chemicals that cause inflammation, which can increase the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and even cognitive loss. In older men, it also exacerbates joint discomfort, exhaustion, and sleep issues. However, there are ways to defend yourself. Similar to weightlifting, resistance training can prevent your metabolism from collapsing and slow down muscle loss. A diet high in protein keeps you feeling full and helps maintain lean muscle, while reducing processed carbohydrates and sugars can help you store less fat. Aging increases in belly fat are normal, but allowing them to continue growing unchecked can be harmful. You're not alone if you've seen changes in your waistline, even though you've been following your regular routine. Your body is just adapting to hormonal changes. 3rd, your ears indeed are actually growing in size. My ears weren't this large before, you may have thought as you gazed in the mirror or saw an old picture. You'd be correct, too. Your ears actually continue to expand throughout your life, unlike muscles that deteriorate or fat that moves about the body as you age. There is no illusion here. It is a genuine biological alteration brought on by cartilage. The majority of the outer ear is composed of cartilage, and as we age, cartilage continues to expand. Furthermore, gravity pulls downward continuously, expanding the ears and gradually making them appear longer and more noticeable. According to studies, ears can grow by roughly 0.8 millimeters annually. Thus, the difference becomes obvious over the course of decades. When a guy is in his 70s or 80s, his ears may appear noticeably bigger than they were when he was younger. George, a 78-year-old retired educator, had always thought his ears were the ideal size for his age, but he was shocked to discover how much they had changed one day when looking through old wedding pictures. He had bigger ears, but they also drooped more. His ears appeared even larger since his earlobes, which had previously been solid and rounded, had thinned and stretched. Even while this change is entirely normal, some men experience self-consciousness. Although cartilage cannot be stopped from forming, the visual impact can be lessened. Elasticity can be preserved by drinking plenty of water, consuming foods that promote the creation of collagen, such as citrus fruits, berries, and bone broth, and shielding your skin from the sun. Using moisturizers high in vitamins A and E can gradually enhance the appearance of your earlobes if they appear dry, wrinkled, or sagging. Larger ears are ultimately just another typical aspect of aging, much like laugh lines or graying hair. It's just nature's method of allowing you to continue hearing the sounds of life as you age. It has nothing to do with health. 4. Calves that slowly shrink away. The legs, and more especially the calf muscles, show some of the most obvious physical changes that occur in aging males. One day you could notice that your once strong, well-defined calves appear smaller and less solid when you look down. Additionally, it's not simply weight loss. Muscular atrophy is a prevalent age disorder in which the body gradually loses muscle mass over time. This occurs for a number of reasons. First, as people age, their levels of hormones, especially growth hormone and testosterone, which are necessary for muscle growth and maintenance, decrease. Second, as we age, we tend to become less active. Even guys who continue to walk daily might not be using their calves as much as they formerly did, particularly if they have quit lifting weights, jogging, or leaping. Last but not least, aging tends to reduce blood circulation in the lower body, which also plays a role in muscle loss. In his mid-60s, 75-year-old Robert began to notice that his calves had lost shape and that his legs felt weaker after spending the most of his working life standing and moving. He started to struggle with things he used to do easily, like getting out of a chair without using his hands or mounting stairs. At first, he thought it was just a typical aspect of growing older. In reality, however, his muscles were shrinking due to a combination of hormonal changes and decreased physical exertion. This problem goes beyond appearances. Weak calf muscles can slow down your gait, impair your balance, and raise your chance of falling. According to research, older persons who have smaller calves are more likely to experience mobility and independence issues as they age. The good news? You are able to defend yourself. With the correct exercises, this muscle loss can frequently be slowed down or even reversed. Calves can be strengthened and blood flow improved with easy exercises like calf lifts, resistance band workouts, and walking on an incline. Nutrition is also very important. Muscle growth and repair are supported by consuming adequate high-quality protein from foods like lean meats, fish, eggs, beans, or tofu. Don't disregard it if you notice that your calves appear smaller or feel weaker than previously. You may preserve your strength and mobility far into your senior years by taking action now. After discussing the 4 subtle yet telling indicators of aging in males, pause to reflect. How many of these traits have you or someone you know displayed? Growing older is a normal aspect of life. Even while we can't stop every change, knowing what's going on allows us to react appropriately. Little changes can have a significant impact, whether it's maintaining an active lifestyle, taking care of your skin, or changing your routine to suit your body's changing requirements. You should not be afraid of growing older. As a stage of life that may be thoroughly and purposefully experienced, it deserves respect. Your body's changes, the lines on your skin, and even the distinct smell of time all convey a tale of fortitude, resiliency, and experience. Take care of yourself with the same commitment you've shown to others throughout your life, and instead of worrying about these changes, learn from them. To make the most of this era of life, concentrate on the things you can control and take action to maintain your health, fitness, and engagement. We would be delighted to hear from you now. Which of these signs caught your attention the most? Have you seen yourself exhibiting any of them, or have you seen any additional changes that we haven't covered here? Leave a comment below with your opinions. Tell us what you took away from this video and how you intend to apply it to your everyday life. Don't be afraid to voice your opinions. We value them. Reading your feedback motivates us to keep producing educational, uplifting, and empowering content. To ensure you don't miss any more uploads, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable the notification bell if you found it useful. Your assistance is crucial. It enables us to continue producing important information. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.